Hi everybody, today we're going to have a look at doing a sketch layer and using a root layer on top of it for those of you that are trying to understand how to use a sketch layer in ArcGIS Online in the new version. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to head to our location. So in this case, I'm going to use Fortitude Valley in Brisbane. Perfect. And we're going to zoom into that location. There we go. Now we can see Fortitude Valley here. Now let's say that we wanted to add a sketch point to point out where the train station was, or maybe where the golf club was, for an example. So we can head over to the left-hand side here and to the Add tab. And instead of browse layers or add layer from file like we would normally do to get a layer, we can actually go down to this create sketch layer. So if I go ahead and click on create a sketch layer, you'll see this right hand panel pop up. Now, this is where it can sometimes get tricky because it will automatically give you this black vector point stamp. And anywhere that you click on the map, it will put that stamp. So something that is a trick is if you actually look down the side here, you can see there's the stamp that I'm currently highlighted on. I've also got lines, I've got curved lines, polygons here, I've got text, which is another important box here, but I've also got this cursor. And if I go ahead and click on the cursor, can you see now how that vector stamp has actually disappeared? And I can now navigate around my map without the vector stamp, the black point stamp, appearing on the map anywhere. I can actually move around. Now, a lot of people are getting confused because they can't move the map around with the vector stamp still on. For example, if I go to move the map, it will drop the point. Okay, and that's not what we want. So if I go now to try and get rid of this stamp, I need to go back to that cursor, click on it, and then I can either move it, delete it, whatever I want. So if I highlight it like that, I can go ahead and press delete. Okay, so if I want to put a pin over this train station as an example, I can go to this pin here and I can actually go and click on the vector point current symbol options. And we can see here we've got a heap of categories. So if I wanted the train station to be a gorilla for some random point, I could have it as a gorilla. Or I could drop down this animals category here and I can actually move it down to vehicles and find a train. So we've got a subway train here, we've got a train station here, heaps of different options for you to do. Maybe I'll do this cute Thomas the Tank looking one. And I'm going to go ahead and pop it in the middle of the map. Okay. Now, if I want to change anything about this, maybe I want to change the size, maybe I want to change its location. First of all, what I need to do is hit that cursor button again. So that select button. I can then click on it and freely move around. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. I can change the colors of the train. I can do whatever it is that I want from here, okay? But just note that in order to touch or move anything, maybe I want to move it up here, maybe I want to move it down here, I need to have that cursor option selected, okay? Now, what if you're doing a map where you actually want your train to have a bit of a label? Well, there's two ways of doing that. The first way is, again, make sure that we've got our selected option, okay? Click on our train, and once it's highlighted, can you see that blue line around it? We can go over here to this feature layer, okay, this point feature, and we can change the name of it. We can then enable pop-up, right? So if I click on this, I can go enable pop-up, and you can see here a title will come up, train. And I can also add some text, okay? So I can go edit text and I can say, here is the train station. Now, once I've done all that, I can go back to my select option. And again, if I click on my train now, you can see that the pop-up has become available, okay? But if you are wanting to print this map out and not have it interactive, so not be able to click on it, there is another way that you can do it. If we go ahead and go to this text box right here, we can then walk over to the train, click there, and again, go to the cursor, because otherwise you've got another text thing that will be put on the map somewhere. Select the text, and we can go down to enter content and say, this is the train. And now we can see we can change the size of this, we could change the color of the text, we can do whatever we want and move it around. Okay, so in a nutshell, that is how you use the cursor and the sketch layers in ArcGIS Online's new map viewer in order to be able to move things around and have it a lot easier. Okay, the other thing to point out while we're already on this is the polygon feature. So if I was to go ahead and click the polygon feature, I could highlight this entire area right here around the train, double click when I'm finished with it. And again, if I go ahead and click that cursor and highlight the polygon, I can go ahead and change the color of it. I can change the transparency. I can change the outline. I can do a lot with it from here. Okay. All you need to remember is whatever you need to select or place or change, you just simply need to remember to press that cursor. Okay.